Hello everyone. Today in this video we will fight against the atmospheric of our world around us, as we do in every video of this channel. And today we will try to talk, discuss, or answer the question: do we really suffer from any crisis nowadays? I mean, in general, the humanity, or if we do, what type of crisis is it? So we will join to the club that allows the world crisis, especially in recent years it's happening, to undergo any declension, heavy declension. And now we will think, what type of crisis do we really have? First of all, I would say this is what we see when we look at the heavy data, physical data. We see in the majority of places around the world demographic crisis. Even in the countries that still 20 years ago were quite fertile, like even Thailand, Bahamas, South Korea, now we see that they are deeply in a huge demographic crisis, and they are even experiencing rapid population collapse. Actually, I recorded already a video, and I agree with some people who are saying that we are now in danger not of overpopulation as many people think, but we are in danger of population collapse. And many countries demographically, when we see where they are standing at the demographic cliff, I would say. And these are not only Western European countries, surprisingly, not only. And so this crisis has its roots in the crisis of morality, crisis of values, crisis of purpose in life, so values, why to live for, what's the purpose of life. So I would say this is a manifestation of growing level of consumptionist attitude towards life among many people, because family is no longer important, only to have, to eat, and to stuff your belly, and nothing else matters. We have a crisis of finances. We see it after 2 years of madhouse caused by allegedly dangerous, recently famous Chinese microbe, and all precautions taken officially against it by many countries, including lockdowns, buying. Now we see more and more harmful remedies and forcing many people to take them, buying everything for the public money, so from the taxpayers' money, and wasting them at the same time, destroying many smaller and average entrepreneurs due to this politics, printing money like crazy, like African dictators over 40 years ago, and now it happened on a global scale. So we have economical and global crisis, plus two more moral crisis and demographic crisis mentioned previously. We also have crisis of science, especially it's well connected with this engineered health crisis, let's say, because many, in quotation, experts, they knew only the source of their income. That's why they were telling only this, what they were expected to say, to gain some more cash for that. The veracity was equal to zero or even negative of this, what they were saying. So this is, I would say, a sort of compromission of many scientific institutions. So we have also crisis of trust, crisis of science. Of course, in democratic societies is more severe than in the others, because it's easier to achieve crisis of a trust between the government and people. Now we see protests in Netherlands, and not only, because due to the fact that many companies and lobbying groups try to lobby for their own business, and they lobby for the governments. Some governments that are easy to be bribed are trying to pursue for the stupid reforms according to which are in line in the so-called green agenda, which is not so green, not so environmental friendly, because if we take into account the composition of the batteries, whatever type of battery it is, we see that these batteries contain many heavy metal ions, many artificial plastics, and other substances that are not environmentally friendly. and they are even very more harmful than the wastes created after usage of the fossil fuels, traditionally used fossil fuels. So it's not about the environment, it's about only lobbying groups that are pushing governments to buy their products that we don't need, and to gain some cash for their managers that are ruling these companies, and their CEOs who are for long disconnected from these companies. I also mentioned it previously in my videos that this is also one of the reasons of the pathology of big business nowadays, that owners are disconnected from the people who are really running the companies, and they are running the companies within the short 3-4 years terms, so they only want to at any cost maximize the profits. They don't care about the consequences of their actions, not at all. They care only about the profits. So we have also crisis of management. So we see that so this what I mentioned. Also, one can conclude that we have, and we will have more and more environmental crisis because of this green agenda that was allegedly designed, according to official propaganda, to be environmental friendly, but in fact it's opposite. So we see that current civilization globally is killed almost by the set of crises: moral, demographic, environmental, economical, financial, and also crisis of trust, crisis of science. Do we have really huge progress recently in technology? No. We have another online shop or tracking applications by which governments and corporations wants to control us even more and squeeze more money from us. This is the only progress in quotation what we are gaining in recent years. So tightening the control, tightening the totalitarianism. And this is what we see also, that our elites do not know how to rule. They do not have any idea what new system to introduce to improve the working of our states and our local communities, or how to improve older system, because there are different ways. They are only thinking about tightening the control because they are afraid that people will sooner or later realize that they are only cheating and robbing them, so they will be angry and they could rebel against them. So we see that everything is getting more and more according to the growing crisis of crises, and we are heading at collapse. We are at the edge of the cliff. We will see how the things will go, but I'm not very optimistic. There should be a sort of collapse, and we, the ones who survive it, will have to start from the beginning. This is the cumulation of the crises we are suffering from. In my previous movies, I told you what one can do to survive and not to drive crazy, so mentally and physically survive such period of time. And after after it's over, after the collapse, we survive, what to do to start rebuilding our world again. All the best, have a nice day, bye.